Welcome to this episode of Healthy and Happy. I am WAVENEY MARTINBOROUGH, and our topic, how to fight the big C with the big P. Dr. Palmer is our presenter.
Cancer is so dreaded that some people are afraid to even call its name. They refer to it as C. So, Dr. Palmer, how does cancer operate?
Cancer is the uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells in the body. Your body has, according to the Smithsonian, around 37 trillion cells, of which there are over 200 different types. And according to some estimates, every day we have around 200 cells that go astray. And so when the cells die, new cells replace them, and when they get replaced, sometimes they become abnormal and then they start growing. They form clumps or tumors. Sometimes these tumors can spread to other parts of the body in metastasis, and this leads to the dreaded C word, and for many, unfortunately, death. There are at least 100 different types of cancers.
100 different types. So what are the most frequent?
The number one cancer is lung cancer. From men, then we are talking, we have lung cancer, and then we have prostate and colon cancer. For women, we're looking at breast, lung, and colon cancer. Some cancers are genetic, but up to 70 to 80% of cancers, we believe, could be prevented.
Now, if over 70% could be prevented, what can we do to prevent it?
There are 7 things that we could do, very easy steps. Number one is, if you're using alcohol or tobacco, stop. Tobacco smoke is responsible for 1 in every 3 cancer deaths. Tobacco has over 3,700 chemicals, of which we know 33 carcinogens or cancer-causing agents. These damage the cell's DNA that helps the multiplication. Tobacco causes cancer of the lungs, the larynx, the pancreas, and many other organs. So if you smoke, please stop smoking. Heavy alcohol use is also associated with cancer, cancer of the mouth, the larynx, the esophagus, the liver. And alcohol is responsible for 12% of cancer deaths. So we need to break up with alcohol.
You know, there are a lot of people who know that smoking is bad, but they have a hard time quitting. Can you give some tips how to quit?
Yes, gladly. First, find a convincing reason to quit and keep that reason before you. Second, avoid the triggers. These are the people, the places, the objects that connect you with smoking. Third, you're going to go through withdrawal symptoms, unless you are very blessed. And so prepare for it and tell others around you you're going to be miserable for a few days, but they will live with you. Fourth, use distraction techniques, chew gum, suck mint, munch on celery. Fifth, drink lots of water. This flushes out the poison and it cools the craving. And sixth, use a support system. It's nice if you could find a partner or a buddy or join a support group that will help. And finally, and perhaps most important, enlist God's help. He is powerful, so pray for His help.
Okay, so step number 1, quit smoking and drinking. What's step number 2?
Number 2 is avoid eating meat.
That's a difficult thing for most people to do. But first of all, how does meat contribute to cancer?
In several ways. A lot of research has been very conclusive on the subject. Food with fiber, that's the food that grows from the ground. Meat has no fiber.
Doesn't grow.
No, yeah. So food with fiber, when you're eating a high fiber diet, the food takes just a day to a day and a half to get into your system and out of it. Okay. But the digestion of meats takes from 3 to 5 days. And this slows, because there's not enough fiber, the movement of meat through the digestive tract is slower, and this permits fermentation in the intestines and buildup, and this contributes to colon cancer. In addition, the high fat content of meat increases hormone production, which adds to the risk of hormone-related cancers like breast cancer and prostate cancer. And we now know that the protein from meat itself is very, would I say, carcinogenic.
Wow. But we say we eat meat because of the protein, but that's really not the type of protein that is helpful.
It has been proven that the protein you find in animal products does not help to prevent cancer.
Okay, there must be one more, because our topic is how to fight the big C with the big P. So tell us about the big P.
The big P is a word called phytochemicals.
What's that?
It doesn't even sound like a P, does it? Phytochemicals. Oh, this is, we could go on and on for this subject. This is where I get really, really excited. Phytochemicals are chemicals that the good Lord put in the food that comes out of the ground.
Okay.
These phytochemicals are chemotherapy medicines, natural chemotherapy medicines.
Wow.
You find them only in plants, and the evidence for each phytochemical is overwhelming. We know now which foods have them and what the phytochemicals are and how they help to prevent cancer.
Somewhere I've read that the phytochemicals are color-coded. Is that true?
Kind of. It's an easy way to remember. For example, green vegetables have certain phytochemicals such as lutein and indoles. And can you name some of the greens?
Oh, like colored greens and kale, spinach, broccoli.
Brussels sprouts. In fact, people who eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, their risk of colon cancer and breast cancers, the solid tumor cancers, go way down. If folks had started to smoke cabbage instead of tobacco, we wouldn't have this issue.
Okay, let's take one more color.
The reds have such phytochemicals as lycopenes and the anthocyanins. Can you name a few with the reds?
Tomatoes, red peppers, strawberries, red apples, right?
Yes, and then there are the yellows, and they have the flavonoids.
Oranges, lemons.
And the list goes on and on. To put it differently, you can have a rainbow diet that can help us to beat cancer.
Well, Dr. Palmer, these have been 3 very powerful steps that we could take, and we want to be able to fight cancer and win.
These are excellent strategies. Be sure to view part 2 of this episode.